How do you have time for rejection, the emotion, the sensation of, oh, I'm so disappointed right now? Why? Because the goal's not big enough. If you were going for $1 billion, rejection, oh, somebody tells you no, you're going to stop and let it hurt your feelings. When you're experiencing rejection, it is because you don't have that massive goal in place. Big think. Surrounded by little people. Hard to have massive goals when you're surrounded by little people. Most of us are surrounded by little people. Little think. Just be happy. Just be healthy. Family's all that matters. Man, there's 8 billion people on this planet. You got to know that there's more that matters than just you and 3 other people. Okay. Get your money right. Number 3, you cannot be successful long-term if you don't get your money right. Every speaker I had on here, Glenn Stern says, money's really, it's a weird thing. One side of the equation, it matters a lot. Another side of the equation, it doesn't matter at all. He's like, but you got to have it in order to get anything done. In order to take care of this half, you have to have money on this side. So become a genius about your money. And I'm sorry, but you cannot delegate this to an accountant. Most accountants that I have met, accountants that work for me, I would never take financial advice from. Never, ever. Like, understanding money is different than being able to balance a checkbook. It's completely different. All right. So success is simple. Have massive goals. Get your money right. Number 4, you got to become a marketing genius. You must increase your bust. That's not a curse word. I can go there. Okay. You have to become a marketing genius, and never before in the history of the world has it been any easier than it is right now. Facebook, Instagram, live streams, reels, YouTube. YouTube's the beast. Everybody's ignoring it. Google search, writing articles. Okay. If you Google my name today, Grant Cardone and Yahoo, Grant Cardone and real estate, Grant Cardone and Trump. You're going to see 3 articles that were written about me this week, 3 interviews that were done about me this week, where I have an opinion, collaborating with other groups. It posts. It's not me writing it. Post. And then the next thing you know, people are talking about me and having opinions about me, good or bad. You must become a marketing genius. You have to get half the planet, all the planet to know you. And naturally, if the whole planet knows you, half of them will not like you and the other half may like you. So you got to become a marketing genius. The moment you become a marketing genius, you got to learn how to handle haters. I always remind myself this about the critics. My wife got some criticism from somebody today, and I said, baby, just remember, they're talking about you and you don't even know them. What does it matter? Okay. How the hell do you think I'm going to get John Travolta or Dana White to show up on my stage if I don't have haters along the way? They got haters. Oh my God. John Travolta. How many magazines do you think he's been on? Number 5, never quit. You cannot quit regardless of what happens. Quitting, by the way, it's impossible to actually quit anything, because as soon as you quit, you got to start again. Including all you guys that believe in the one life phenomenon. What if they ain't one life? What if you got to come back? What if you're like, oh man, boom, I'm out. And then you're like, oh, I'm back again. Oh shit. Oh, whoa. Let's see who got that one. Oh, you said it. Let's see, curse word. Man, you guys are paying attention. Okay. Heath W gets the $100. Okay. Heath, let me just sign this to Heath. Okay. You man. Okay. That was a mumble. That didn't. Okay. Number six. You got to get over your losses quick. You got to get over them. Takes me about 30 hours. I know how long it takes me, by the way. I get hit with something. I'm like, okay, next 30 hours is going to be ugly. I'm going to hate everybody. I'm going to freaking moan and groan and gripe and resent and This is so unfair. I'm just telling you guys what I do every day. And then I'm like, and then what happens? And by the way, I would change this. Don't get over your losses quick. Learn how to use your losses. Learn how to use the losses to fuel you. Because I actually never get over. I got a guy that sued me. I don't know, when was that? Back had to be 2008. I still resent him. Every day it's fuel in my tank. I'm like, Nitro Wayne, Ralph. Let me show you what I got for you, Ralph. Okay. This is one of the things I bought for you, Ralph. You helped me get this. Thank you. And Rob and your attorney. All three of you guys fueled me to get that plane. Thank you so much. God bless you. Amen. 7, double down. You got to double down, man. When the cards are good, you got to go all in. You got to double down. This is why I was saying this, I think on day 4, the reason Vegas never gets beat is because you guys go in there and you're trying to conserve your money. I'm only going to, if I lose 100, you go in there with the wrong attitude too. Once I lose $100, I'm out of here. Okay. I'm not going to the ATM machine no matter what happens. The whales go in there and they'll be like, they're bringing in millions of dollars. Ming Young is coming in tonight. He's flying in from Beijing. He has 2 planes, one for his staff and one for his money. And he's bringing it in cases, right? And every bet is like, go. Can we take this bet? The next one's going to be double that. And dude, they're worried about it. The casino, these whales can take down these casinos, okay? It's not this guy that takes down the casino. Little guy builds casino, big guy actually puts that casino at risk. That's why all casinos have a rule. We can ask you to leave and not play here. We have the right not to serve you cards. So double down. You guys got to learn how to double down. How are you going to double down? Double down on a little goal. How are you going to double down when you got Dave Ramsey in your ear telling you don't take on debt? You need debt to double down. You cannot get big thinking small, going small, okay? Double down. What are y'all talking about? Okay, good. Double down. Don't be a clown. Okay, 7, trick. This is a trick. If this is not a secret, I don't know anybody else talking about it. Get pulled forward. Okay, the way I get pulled forward is this. Today is 10/10. Officially. What is today? Officially? Worldwide? Today, posted below. Today is 10X day. Okay. Okay. The trick. Yeah. You guys, come on, stay in order, guys. I got enough going on. I got 3-pointers right now. Okay. 10/10. What I do, a little trick I do. Okay. I've done it for the last 13 days, by the way. I have things pull me forward. I don't really have choices. There's certain parts of my life where I don't have choices, where I have things I obligate to dates. Okay. I never don't show up. Sometimes I try to get out of them. Hey, can we get out of this? You know? Okay. So what's my next obligation? My next obligation is what? What's the date on the boot camp?
October 23rd.
Okay. So 10/23, 24, and 25. GrantCardone.com/virtual. I'm going to spend 3 days with you. I've spent $2 million. Oh, by the way, when it's just a podcast, you're like, can I get out of it? Yeah, Grant, we can cancel. We can move him. Okay. But when you got $2.9 million invested, you're probably not going to go away from that. Probably not going to. I got 4,000 people coming. Okay. So what I do is I have things pull me forward. They pull me forward. I don't have people pushing me. The last time I had somebody push me, I was 23 years old, 24 years old. I was a salesman and the manager's giving me a quota. I'm like, hey, you ain't going to give me a quota. I ain't going to have other people tell me what I'm capable of. And I started building my own quotas, having something pull me forward. That's the big goal, the big dreams, the people. Okay. When I'm done with this on 10/23, I'm going to go 10/26. I'm going to go to St. Bart's and I got a bunch of my buddies showing up there. Okay, yeah, they're going to put the little thing up my nose and check me. 8 days later, they're going to check me again. I've already sent the deposit over there. I'm getting pulled forward. Okay. You guys don't have anything on your calendar. Look at your calendar. What do you have? Monday, you got to go to work. That's not being pulled forward. You got to. You're obligated. What are your choice? Make this a choice. 10, 23, 24, 25. Go to grantcardone.com/virtual right now. If you haven't already bought it, buy the boot camp. Put your commitment in the physical universe in the future. You have to make a physical commitment. Here, I'm in. Right? So we did Marlin Stadium. Marlin Stadium, people are like, how'd you sell Marlin Stadium out? I gave them a check for $6 million. How'd you sell it out though? I gave them a check for $6 million. When you're that committed, man, you're going to make it work. See, the problem most people do is they don't commit. They try stuff. Even you guys in your advertising, we're going to try a little bit. Let's see how this works. Okay. I'm like, okay, you try to see if that great ad works, and I'm going to take a bad ad and do that. Let's see which one works. Because the bad ad will work if you spend enough money. All marketing works if you don't quit on it. Every one of these principles I'm giving you right now apply to everything: relationships, money, marriage, marketing, everything. You just stay with it, double down on your successes, get pulled forward. In a marriage, I need things to pull us forward, things that we'll be excited about. For my staff, we need things that pull us forward. I probably don't do a good enough job on that, but we're always into something. Like sometimes we're like, when we finish this one, we're going to go on this trip. And then the next thing you know, we come up with this other bigger thing to do. And we're like, cancel the trip. Let's go do this big thing. Number 8, folks, don't go it alone. If you study super successful people, you cannot come up with one person, not one person, nobody in this feed. You show me one person that has ever gone it alone. I'll pay $1,000 for anybody that can give me one person that was successful, that we know their name. You and I know their name. Yeah, don't go it alone. It's number 8. Elon ain't going it alone, man. God, come on. How many employees Elon's got at PayPal at the first score? By the way, Elon never goes it alone. Folks, Elon takes on debt like it's air. He takes on investors. Taking on investors is not going it alone. You show me somebody that hit it big. Glenn Stearns had a partner. Sure did. End up buying out his partner. In fact, his partner was who he went to work for, and then he flipped the model on him. Jesus didn't go it alone. What's wrong with you people? Man, read your Bible. He had 12 dudes with him all the time and went from village to village. He left home, by the way. He told Mary and Joe, I got to go. And Mary was like, but Jesus, you only have one pair of sandals. I'm worried about you. He's like, I'm going anyway. I got to go. Nobody will listen to me here. Okay. Rockefeller didn't go alone. Come on, man. Helen Keller. How could Helen Keller go anywhere alone? Shit, she couldn't see. We said that wasn't a curse word, though.
No. You said you were going to do it.
Richard Emmett, you get $100. Richard Emmett.
Swear jar. The swear jar is filling up.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Don't go it alone, folks. Don't go it alone. 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 Please don't go it alone. Get a team, man. Get some people that you know. You can trust them. They're transparent. You know what's going on. If you can get on a list of people that come to our offices, okay, I tell you what I'm going to do. The first 20 people that grab our VIP, first 20 people today, new people that grab our VIP, grantcardone.com/virtual. And you go VIP, I'm going to invite you to our offices anytime between now and the end of the year. We do this every week. Every week we set a date for people to come in. You fly in. You are a welcome guest in our offices. We have how many people coming here tomorrow? 12 people coming tomorrow. grantcardone.com/virtual. Go VIP. You got 10 minutes to do this, okay? And I'll give the first 20 people access to visit our office for free. Okay. You can come to our classroom, come to our meetings, meet every one of our departments, see our culture. Why am I doing that? I don't want you to go it alone. Quit going it alone. What are you thinking? How are you going to get anywhere without all by yourself? Okay. Number 9, give, and keep giving, which means you're going to need some energy. You're going to need some energy. And number 10, notice how much we've given you guys, by the way. Told you I'd give you 10 days, said it'd be 1 hour. It was never a 1 hour day. Most of the days were 2 hours. Said that'd be 10 days. It was 13. Then we give you today. Today could be 6, 8, 9, 10 hours. If you guys want the recording, just let me know you want the recording and we'll get you the recording. Okay. Simple, easy way to get the recording. And the last thing, I can't read it though. What does it say, man? I wrote this down myself. I don't know. Let me bring in my guest. Always. Oh yeah. Always show up. Always say yes to everything. Always show up for the appointment. You don't think that people are qualified? Show up. Okay. Last weekend, I went and looked at a house in Fort Lauderdale. I'm probably not a buyer for a house right now, but I'm looking, I'm snooping, I'm checking, I get bored. I go look at houses because they pull me forward. I'm like, hey, how could I do that? The guy says, hey, you need to send us a financial statement to look at this house. I'm like, okay. Why don't you just Google me? I have. Okay. Maybe you got the wrong guy. Okay. So like, why don't you just say yes, yes, yes. Okay. And when the owner says, hey, did you see his financials? Yes, I did see it. Okay. We're meeting with this guy. Okay, they hadn't sold the house. By the way, I didn't get to go see that house because the guy added time and energy. I'm like, okay, I don't need the house. Like, boom, you made it too hard for me. Don't make it hard. Always say yes to the customer, folks. Say yes. Figure out how to say yes to people. All right. I have with us right now a guy that I didn't bring him for you. I brought him for me. Give you number 11, by the way. Number 11. Ain't nothing wrong with being a little selfish. The entire list of speakers that I'm bringing to you today, I bring to me first. Hey, do I want to hear him? Will he help me? Because if he'll help me and I want to hear him, I believe he'll help other people. This guy is a friend of mine, like a brother, like family. But the moment I met this man, I was like, I'm going to spend the next 30 years. I'm going to go get old. He's probably going to reside over my funeral. He'd be the perfect minister. Always hustling. Okay. Tim Storey, author, speaker, life coach. He helps you create the future you desire. His most recent book, Come Back and Beyond, is a top seller at Amazon. He has inspired me and people from all walks of life, including entertainment people and everybody in between, from executives to deprived children throughout the world. He privately counsels very high profile people. You probably saw him with the Billy Killer herself. The big O, Oprah. He's traveled to 75 countries. He's been to more countries than I have. He spends time with Kids Havens Orphanage in Johannesburg, South Africa. He's featured on the nationally syndicated Keep the Faith Radio, featured on Steve Harvey TV Live every week. He has been at the 10X Growth Conference 3 times. He is, most importantly, more than this list, he is a friend of mine. He is a friend of Elena's, and he is now a friend of yours on 10X Day. Tim Storey, take it away.
What a privilege. Okay, so number one, Grant and I are real friends. We're real brothers, just as he said. I want to wish a happy birthday month to Jared Glant, because Jared makes so many things happen around there. And so you're going to love what we're talking about for the next 15 to 20 minutes. I want you to write down the word momentum, the word momentum. The word momentum means a force. It means an energy. It means a drive, and it means a push. Now, because of my life working with entertainers one-on-one as a life coach for 30 years now, is that I work with a team of psychologists and psychiatrists that help me with some of my clients. And so I was telling them that I believed that every single person, even when they were a baby, that they had momentum, they had force, energy, drive, push, that they have a voice to them. And so all of the different psychologists and psychiatrists agreed, and they said, Tim, sometimes it's verbal, sometimes it's not, because maybe that baby is quiet, or maybe that the baby has been molested or oppressed in some ways, but there is a shout inside of them. Now, so every one of you was born, and as a child, you had a shout within you. Now, watch how powerful this gets. A teacher rarely goes into a classroom and tells a bunch of first graders, all right, you guys, pump up the volume. No, the teacher says, shh, bring it down. Why? Because kids have a natural shout. If you were to just go by a playground to maybe pick your kid up at lunchtime, you will find the kids have a shout. Now, the question is, then why is it that we see people as teenagers, in their early 20s, people in their 30s, where it looks like life has knocked the shout out of them? Okay, so this is where we're going to go to start off with today. So the question is, has life knocked the shout out of you? All right, now, I find that in the midst of quarantine, in the midst of COVID-19, that there are so many people that got the shout knocked out of them because we went into what is called foreign territory. Foreign territory, according to my notes, is places we had never doggone gone before. All right. Never in my life have I walked around America and seen everybody with masks. Never in my life have I had to take my temperature before I went into a restaurant. So we went into foreign territory. And for some people, what that did is it quarantined them, not just in their house, but it quarantined them in their mind. And it quarantined them and their shout. What we want to do is we want to tell you officially, you are not quarantined in your mind. You are not quarantined in your spirit, and you are not quarantined in your shout. Now, as you guys know, Grant and Elena did 10X in March, and it is the greatest conference in the world. As he said, I've been to 75 countries of the world and been a part of amazing conferences. 10X is the greatest conference in the world. It is a movement. It's not just an event. It's a movement. But when we were at 10X, there's no way we saw just around the corner that COVID-19 would hit at this level. So what we had is what I call a life interruption. Can you write that down? Life interruption. Now, so let's break down the word interruption. To interrupt means, watch, a life disturbance. It is a life interference. Oh, but you're going to like this one. It is a life interception. All right, so depending on who your favorite football team is, for all of you that do not like sports, just pardon me as I use a football illustration. Tom Brady could be going all the way down the field. Now he's with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He can get down to the 5-yard line. It looks like he's going to score a touchdown. Now, please hear me. See, all of you have goals. You have the sight of something great happening. You have the right, and then you have to have the might. The might is a strength. What we learn through Grant Cardone is the sight, which is the vision. The right, come on, man. You live in a country where you have the right to do well, but you got to have the might. The might is, watch, the strength on the inside. You have to have the courage. You have to have the character. That's why you see him every single day. Every single day, he's talking about might, the strength. So you have the sight, you have the right, you have the might, But the fourth one is you're going to have to fight. If you're going to make it in 2020, 2021, 2022, what you're going to, you better have the fight, because there's going to be a giant on top of every one of your promises. So again, Tom Brady could be down to the 5-yard line. Looks like he's going to score. Throws the ball. Somebody can intercept it. And so you've seen it where somebody intercepts the ball, goes all the way down the field, man, 95 yards. And that's called what they call a pick six. Some of you have had a life interruption that was a pick six. I was on the airplane with this guy from Atlanta, Georgia, and we were talking, and the more we flew, the more he drank. The more we flew, the more he drank. And so he was talking to me about how big his businesses are and everything he's done, and so I said, "Hey, are you single or are you married?" And he goes, "I'm divorced." I said, "No, are you single or are you married?" He goes, "I'm divorced." I go, No. There's two categories. There's single and there's married. He goes, "I'm divorced." I said, "How long ago did you get divorced?" And he said, 17 years ago. I said, "Why are you talking about your divorce that happened 17 years ago? And why are you labeling yourself a divorcee when actually you're single?" And the guy literally got emotional. He goes, "Oh my God, you're good. You're right. I am tying myself to a life disturbance that happened in my life back in my past." So here's what I'm saying to you. I believe that you could still have a life full of momentum, force, energy, drive, push. Life disturbances will happen. An interruption, okay? Trouble, interference, an interception. So the question is, what interception has happened in your life that is trying to stop you, that is trying to sit you in a setback? And as Grant knows, this is where I shine, people. This is why they come from all over the world to spend 1 hour with me, because I am the master at turning your setbacks to comebacks. So here's what happens. You have energy, you have force, you have momentum. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. And then an interruption hits. It could be one of your children in trouble. It could be your health. It could be your relationship, a marriage, could be your finances. But I believe that you do not have to, write this down, sit in your setback. Write that down. Sit in your setback. Number two, you do not have to settle in your setback. And this is where Grant Cardone is the best. You guys, I've been around everybody. All right? He does not let us settle in our setback. When you settle, you decide to live in the land of okay. All right, Tim Story, what do you mean by that? Hey, how's your life? Okay. How are your kids? Okay. How's your businesses? Okay. You watch Grant Cardone. He does not sit in a setback. He does not settle in a setback. He does not stay in the land of okay. As he said in his session, he always has a promise. He always has a goal that stirs him up to continue to go forward. You are not designed, people, to sit and to settle in your setback. Now, I work with a lot of different entertainers, but let's take one person that I will not name the name today, but you'll probably figure it out. So this particular entertainer came to me himself, and he was sitting in a setback. And he said to me, "Tim, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to help my life just to be okay." And I said, "That's not going to work, because I don't believe in having just an okay life. People, listen to me. We don't want your life just to be okay. We don't want you to have just a setback and then you sit in it, settle in it, okay? In that place of okay. We believe that you're going to have a comeback and beyond. So let me just tell you right now, you're going to finish up October strong. November is going to be stronger. December is going to be stronger. January is going to be stronger. February is going to be stronger. But you have got to jump in, as Grant said, and you need to partner with power. Partner with people who have a similar mindset, okay, and similar motives. And one of the things that we do at 10X, this is not just about getting people money. You should see all the charities that we're involved with and the monies that are raised, even at the 10X conferences, so we could pay it forward and help change people's lives. So back to this entertainer. He said, Tim, do me a favor. Just help my life to be okay. I said, I can't do that. Because I believe that you're going to go from a setback, okay, to a comeback, but a comeback and beyond. Oh, I love that word beyond. Come on now. Beyond means outside the limits, outside the boundaries. Oh, some of you have put too many limits on yourselves. All right. So as some of the other speakers will tell you their stories, a lot of us came from struggle. And some of you know my story, Compton, California, which I love Compton, okay? But we had 7 people in a 2-bedroom little apartment. That's called cramped. We had a Volkswagen Bug with 7 people that used to drive around in a Volkswagen Bug. That's called illegal. And so we were cramped and we were crowded. But I believed that life had called me to a life beyond. Little did I know that little Timmy story from Compton will get to talk to you people. We'll get to tour the world. We'll get to speak to 85,000 people at one time when I was only 28 years of age. Now, why? Because I did not sit in my setback. Settle in your setback. Watch me settle, 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 and stay in the land of okay. Now, this actor that I'm talking about, if you were to Google him, he made $75 million last year alone. The year before that, it's funny, if you Google it, he made about the same amount, $75 million. So we believe, okay, that when you have momentum and you have a life interruption, no matter what the interruption is, you don't have to sit, you don't have to settle. And the third one, you do not have to cement yourself. To cement yourself means that you make it permanent. Oh, people love to do that. Oh, I was doing so well, then I married that person, and then I had a setback, and it's permanent. Oh, I lost all this money back in 2008, 2009, and they made it permanent. You notice that Grant and Elena's story, no matter what setback they've gone through, even back in 2008, 2009, in that period, they decided to rise back up. Watch this quote that's on my paper. While you are feeling the sting of your setback, life is preparing your comeback. Come on, people, get excited. While you are feeling the sting of your setback, life is preparing your comeback, okay? So I'm going to talk about 4 more minutes, and then Grant and I are going to dialogue with each other. Now, all right, Tim Story. So I had momentum, and life knocked the shout out of me. So what do I do now? All right, steps to the comeback. Number 1, you have to become awake. You got to wake up. You can't keep hitting the snooze button. Grant will tell you in his life, there's been times you get hit, man, you want to hit the snooze button. There's been times in my life I've been hit. I want to hit the snooze button, just keep sleeping. But you got to wake up on purpose. Number 2, you got to take inventory. This is the tough thing for all of us. You've got to take inventory. If you've been through a divorce, you got to say, okay, now what do I have? You got challenges with your daughter, Now what do I have? Challenges with your business. Now what do I have? So number one, you become awake. Number two, you take inventory. Number three, let's go back to what Grant said. You have to have the right partners. You have to partner with power. And that's one reason Grant and I are such good friends, is because iron sharpens iron. You gotta have people that say, no, it's not okay that you just live in that land of okay. You have to find people that push you to the next level. Now, if you do not have that in your city, we're saying at 10X, we're your partners. Could you imagine that Grant is saying to you, sign up today, come to the offices? Those offices will help change your life, because you're going to see a bunch of people with similar mindsets and similar motives. Almost done. You become awake, take inventory, right partners, okay? Very important now. You got to have the right plan. The right plan. Now, I told Grant in private last time I was with him, I said, Grant, you're so needed right now because you know how to get through a crisis. You've done it once, you did it again, and now you're doing it again. You need to help lead us through the crisis. You got to make sure that you have the right plan, okay? And that's what we're doing even today once again. And I close with this. You have to have persistence. You have to have persistence. Now, this is a funny one. I'm going to end with something funny. I was watching television with my mother one day. My mother is Spanish. I'm mixed heritage. My mother's name is Vicentita Gonzalez. She has very broken English, even today. I just saw her 4 days ago. Very broken English. So we were watching Telemundo years ago, and they had a picture of Britney Spears back when she had a little baby years ago, and she almost dropped her baby. And they were saying in Spanish, Britney Spears almost dropped her baby. She almost dropped her baby. I said, Mom, look at that. I said, Britney Spears almost dropped her baby. And she says, I used to drop you all the time. Okay, so that was so funny. Hey, who knows, man? It probably happened. Dropped out of the high chair, dropped here, dropped there. But the thing is that we have persistence. We have, watch, the R word, resilience. You have resilience. So what are you saying to me, Tim Story? I'm saying don't sit in your setback. Don't settle in your setback. Don't cement yourself in the setback. You are supposed to rise up to the high place. We need people to become an example that if I could do it, you could do it. If I could do it, you could do it. That's what we are doing at 10X. We are helping you to rise up, that you would be an example to your children's children, that you could live a 10X life. Let's bring on Grant Cardone.
Yeah, Tim, man, that was beautiful, brother. That was beautiful, Tim. Beautiful, brother. Beautiful. So, Tim, look, appreciate you. Thank you so much for your generosity and your wisdom today. And it's why I love you as a person and a friend. You're always here for me. You're always here for this audience. And you get what 10X is. 10X is not about me, as you said. You're the first person that actually said, hey, what you're doing is a movement.
It's a movement.
Talk about that. Talk about that, Tim, because you've seen other. You're old enough to have seen a number of movements across the planet, not just the country.
It is a movement, Grant. I'll be honest with you. It's a movement like I've never seen. And as a person of color, you see movements there. You see movements in religion. You see movements in politics. This is a lifestyle movement. Because what you guys are showing through you and Elena through 10X is that we can 10X our family, we could 10X our mind, we could 10x our spirit, we could 10x our lifestyle, and we could 10x generations down. Now, you mentioned this idea of like Jesus and the disciples because you have an understanding of the Bible. The Bible always talked about generational wealth going 3 levels down. So what you are doing for all of us is you're saying, rise up and let this go at least 3 generations down. So that means that we have to break out so big that it literally goes 3 generations down. You know, as I see what you're doing with your daughters who stole the show at the 10X with them speaking, I mean, they're phenomenal. And they were in the back talking to Kevin Hart, and they hold their own anywhere they go. Now, what's going to happen to them is that spirit and mindset is going on them, but it's going to go on their children's children. So guys, this is a movement. And if you know anybody that needs to be in this movement, you need to get them involved. Because I literally believe that as a 10X movement, within the next 12 months, you watch, we will literally double. We will double. And it is going worldwide. I was in Marbella, Spain, minding my own business.
Beautiful place.
Park, Grant, where all the yachts are.
Yeah.
And a guy screams at me from the restaurant, real good looking guy. He goes, "Hey, Mr. 10X." And I look like this. And he says, "Hey, are you the guy from Grant Cardone?" And I said, "Yes." He goes, "Oh my God, I am into Grant Cardone." I said,
Love a Grant Cardone.
"I love a Grant Cardone." And he said, and I said, "Yes." He goes, "Let him know we love him in Europe." I mean, come on now. I've been freaking all over the world. I didn't tell you this one yet. I was on Turkish Air. I was on a layover in Turkey, and someone came up to me and said, "Hey, are you the guy from 10X?" Why? Because we are a freaking movement, but we're a movement to say we are not going to be stuck. We're not going to sit. We're not going to settle. We're not going to live in the land of okay. And we are going forward. So thank you, Grant and Elena, for listening to this. Going to Miami and saying, I'm putting millions on that stadium. To go back to Las Vegas and say, we're doing it. To already getting us ready for Las Vegas coming up next year in the midst of COVID-19. See, that takes faith to say in the midst of COVID-19, we're going there. So
Yeah. And you know, Tim, it's interesting because people keep asking us, "Hey, are you going to do that deal?" I said, "Yeah, I'm doing the deal." Dave Grutman, who's in the hospitality space, he's like, "Are you doing your deal in Vegas?" I said, 100%. He's like, "Well, how do you know you're doing it?" Because I know I'm doing it. It's going to happen. We're going to open up again. Okay. This is what I said before you came on, and then you hit it. Don't sit in the past. I said right before you came on, without knowing you were going to say that, I'm like, guys, the future is the only thing you can change.
Powerful.
You cannot change the past. There's nothing about my past I can clean it up. I can make amends. But if I did something right or wrong, I can't go back and do that, undo that. It was what it is. But I can change the next 10 minutes, 10 hours, 10 days.
Yes. And please, just for everybody that's watching this, you got to understand that Grant and Elena are called to do this. The world needed somebody that had the doggone guts to rise up. You got to have guts to rise up to a calling. And mostly it's when it's a calling that you've never done before. Grant has never been this form of Grant Cardone. I mean, I go to him with restaurants and everybody's stopping him. This is another level of Grant Cardone, but he continues to rise up to that calling.
Tim, does everybody have a calling?
Everybody has a calling. And here's the deal. The calling will call you. That's why you cannot just sit on the couch and get chubby and feel that great about it, because your calling will call you. Mm-hmm. And the calling for some, if they're a single person, is to rise up, man, and do something. If you're married and you're a husband, the calling is to lead your family. So let me just say this about a man. As a man, you're supposed to guide your family. You're supposed to guard your family, which is protection. You're supposed to govern your family, which is administration. And so that's one reason you need to join the 10X family, so we could teach you how to guide, guard, and govern, so you have enough money that if something goes wrong or right in your family, that you could take care of them.
Tim, you are known as the comeback coach, okay? And for the audience that doesn't know Tim's story, please follow this man for yourself and your family, your future. It's free to follow him. He's all on Instagram. He does a great job with his stories there and his lives. Tim Story Official. With some of the people that you have coached and helped, like Robert Downey, like some of those names, like everybody in that celebrity space. You've
Yes.
been on Oprah's show. I'm going to ask you something I've never asked you before, but the guys that you've seen go down, that had it all and then went backwards, was there ever a case where they had the wrong people in their lives?
Okay, it's almost always the case. So, like, let's say we'll call them conversations. So if I'm talking to Mike Tyson, then I'm looking at Tyson, but I'm looking at who he's around, and
Yeah.
Mike as well. Okay, if I'm talking to a P. Diddy, you say, okay, this is him, but who's around him? All right. If you're talking to a famous baseball player, football player, because I have over 300 entertainers I work with. What you find almost every time, Grant, they have the wrong people around them. And part of it is they feel sorry for people. They go like, I can't cut that guy off. I've known him since junior high.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You need to cut him back. And so most times they have the wrong people around them. So that's why, again, it's so important that we get involved in the 10X family. I watch on a daily basis. I'm involved. I show up to the conference, whether I'm speaking or not, whether I'm on the schedule or not. Why? Because I need to be around that family. Because what happens is that it rubs off. It's like being with a negative person in the car. We've all been that way before. You're driving with somebody who's so negative, you just want to jump out. Even if you're on the damn freeway in the 95, you want to tuck and roll and just jump out. But if you're around a positive person, it builds you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both contagious.
They're contagious.
More contagious than COVID.
Yeah.
When you gonna leave California, man? At what point are you gonna be like, I'm out of here too?
I'm starting to look at places right next to you guys just to
Yeah.
be a little closer. Because I want in on some of the, you guys do some really nice social things that I want a little more part of that. So I
Yeah.
probably will look into that.
Let's do it, my friend. Look, Tim's story, he talked about momentum. He talked about waking up. He talked about the right plan. He talked about persistence, resilience. Don't sit in the past. And he talked about generational wealth and said, you are called to do this. Tim Story, I love you. I thank you. I appreciate it. Please give a big shout out, everybody on the stream here, to Tim Story. Please follow this man, Tim Story Official, on Instagram. Tim, thank you again, buddy. I appreciate you.
Love you. Love you.
God
like a
has
full
blessed
brother.
you, my friend. And you are proving it. Okay. All right. What were your takeaways from Tim today? I got mine, and I'll be putting my notes in our work in our book that we're sending out to everybody that's joined our boot camp. GrantCardone.com/virtual. If you guys want more of this, where we dig deep and start building out, what is your goals? What is the big think? What is the big payoff? How do you actually go out and make contact with people that can fund your dreams? You're not going to fund your own dreams. It's impossible. If you got a goal or a dream that is massive, you do not have enough money to do that. It will require other people. It will require banks. It will require partners. It will require scaling and a massive think. GrantCardone.com/virtual. 3 days with me and my team to share with you exactly what you can do, must do, and will have to do in order to get where you deserve to go. And you guys deserve it. Okay. You're showing up here today on 10X Day, spending hours with me. I want you to walk away with a plan. Okay. Jared, do we want to give some shout outs to people right now? I want to give a big shout out. You got
Yeah. Shout out to
the man that can. I want to give a big shout out to Gifty for being here. Daryl Graham, Hector Daniel Ruiz,
Wendy Clark. These people all just got the Baller, which is the live ticket at the boot camp. Wendy Clark, Alton Hoover.
Is he hot?
Alton Hoover, Alka Sharma, Robert Cote, Thomas Venuto. Congratulations on hooking up for the Baller backstage access for the boot camp.
And Stacy, Louie, Rowley, Steele, Mendoza, Alan Ortiz. Thousands of people have taken advantage of this 3-day, never been done before on the planet, folks. This is not a motivational event. It's not an inspirational event. It is exactly what you need to do. This is not education. It is execution. You'll spend 20 minutes with me, and then we'll literally spend 20 minutes on, let's say, your finances. You'll break away. You'll go do your finances, come back. I'll answer your questions. We'll build a plan about how to take your finances from where they are, from poverty, if you are, or from $1 million, and figure out how to 10X you out of that and give you the exact steps, 1, 2, 3, 4 that you need to do. We'll spend 20 or 30 minutes on how to get out of that situation. You'll go back. You'll literally click a button on your computer. You'll be zoomed to a room with 20 people, and you guys will sit and work your plans out, okay? I've never been able to do this before. The technology didn't exist. It's going to look somewhat like what you see behind me right here with thousands of screens, okay? I'll be surrounded in a room with thousands of screens, and you can attend that for as low as $297. The website is grantcardone.com/virtual. When you purchase that, we are going to give you a recording of today. Okay, this is only the first hour. I gave you 10 secrets to success. Without looking at the notes, without looking at your notes, who knows what those 10 secrets are right now? Post them below. Without looking at your notes, be honest here. I'm going to give $100 to the first person that has them exactly as I stated them. Here they go. Okay. No. The 10 takeaways from what I shared, not Tim's story, okay? Because that's on top of what I shared. Sharif, Cecile Thomas, Bruno, Big Bruno, what's going on, brother? Ricardo, while you guys figure out what those 10 things are. Success is simple. That was the first one. Okay. Oh, there it is. Barry says, success is simple, massive goals, get your money right. Marketing genius, never quit. Get over your losses quickly, double down. Don't go it alone. Give. Always show up. 11. Nothing wrong with being selfish. That was good that you snuck that one in. Okay. $100. That's going to go out to Bari. Bari, you need to reach out to Annie at grantcardone.com. Annie at grantcardone.com. That was at 1:09 p.m., Annie, just so you know. And that's on our live streaming. Congratulations. For all of you that have grabbed the 3-day virtual event, that will be on October the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. The way to maximize that is to literally put yourself in a room. I said this yesterday. Give me 3 days. Would you give me 3 days to get $1 billion? Okay. Would you give me 3 days if it had the potential to deliver and build out $1 billion business for you and your family? You'd be like, but dude, it don't need to do $1 billion. It could do 1 million. Okay. If it made you a $1 million business or $1 million in net worth, okay, would you give me 3 days? Could you, I'm not talking about the money right now. I'm talking about, could you literally give me a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday from about 9 in the morning to about 6, undivided attention? Go into your office, go into your room, go into your bedroom, go into whatever room and put a sign on the door that says, do not disturb me. I'm going into a 3-day class. I want to immerse myself in how to build my business, my identity, my brand. I want to grow myself and my family. I want to get myself in a situation where I'm moving toward these goals and dreams. And maybe it's not $1 billion. Maybe it's not $1 million. Maybe it's happiness. Maybe it's freedom. Maybe it's working for yourself. Maybe it's working from home. Maybe it's never worried about money again. Maybe it's taking a 2-month trip, and 10 months of the year you work, 2 months of the year you travel. Whatever your game is. Look, what I have achieved in my life, Tim Story knows my whole story. Okay, 25 years old, I was coming out of a treatment facility for drug addiction. My family no longer trusted me. I had zero money, none, no money. I had never been on a plane except to go to that treatment center. First time I was on a plane, I don't even remember the flight. I flew up to Minneapolis, Minnesota, went to a place called Hazelden. Don't even remember the flight up there. Somebody had to go with me to get me on the plane, poured me on the plane. Came out of that treatment center. I took a career that I had that I was terrible at and turned it into a profession. Once I woke up and committed, I bought a $2,500 program that changed my life and the direction of my life. It was a sales program to get me great. If I'd have been in a restaurant business, I would have bought a restaurant program. If I would have been in banking, I would have bought something about banking. I happened to be in a sales business and I didn't know how to sell anything. Thank God I was in that business, because that set me up for the rest of my life. And thank God I turned the thing that I despised and hated into something I was good at. And this is what Tim was talking about. You can't just do the stuff you're good at. This is what Glenn Stearns says yesterday. Glenn Stearns is worth $500 million. He learned how to pitch on a front door, on a porch where he wasn't invited. So these are things we're going to teach you how to become a marketing genius, how to build a brand, how to become a genius about money. Where does it get spent? Where does it get invested? What do you use money for? When do you not use it? How much do you put away? When do you start paying off the old debt? I'll share all that with you, okay? And then put you in a situation where we can start accessing other people's money, other people's opportunities, connecting with the right people, and then execute and scale out your ideas until they become whatever your target or goal is, okay? So that's grantcardone.com/virtual. I want to shout out anybody that took advantage of it this morning. If you guys can get those for me as they come in. That's grantcardone.com/virtual. When you hook up today, we are going to give you the recording of the entire day today, which is going to be 6 to 8, maybe 10 hours long. Okay. So you get the recording. The only other way to get the recording is to buy it on our website. It's $1,000. I don't know why anybody would do that. You can get it here for free when you sign up for grantcardone.com/virtual. Okay. And today is set up to prep you for what's going to happen in less than 2 weeks. All right. You don't have to travel anywhere. You don't have to get a hotel. You don't have to get a COVID test. You don't have to do anything. All you got to do is turn your computer on, put the do not disturb sign on your door, and immerse with me. Immerse with me.
Eric Dalius, Isaac Gillimet, Drayson Scranton, Genevieve Sampson, Justin Egan, Summer Garrett, Gary Legault, Perla Corral, David Bange, AJ Hoover, R. Menon, Sari Arena, Tanja Jung, Linda Green, Adria Richardson, Ashneil Gunder, Shane Shrum, Kyle Trannell, Dwayne Jeffries, Catherine. You guys, awesome job. Congratulations. VIP access to the 10X Bootcamp.
And I'm taking notes today. I don't know how many of you are taking notes today, but maybe I sell my notes at the end of the day or give them away to somebody. I'm taking notes. I got 2 pages of notes from Tim Story. Okay. Lewis Howes, New York Times bestselling author of the hit book, The School of Greatness, friend of mine. Dude, I got some great friends. I mean, you want to increase the value of your life? You want to increase your net worth? Change your friends. I don't have the same friends I had when I was in school. I remember my friends Jay Bice, Billy Greason. Jared's never even heard me talk about these people. Vincent down the street. I don't even know where those people are now. Lewis Howes, lifestyle entrepreneur, high performance business coach, keynote speaker, contributor writer for Entrepreneur Magazine, former professional football player, 2-sport All-American, the country's U.S. men's national handball. I did not know the dude was into handball. Man, we got to play some handball, Lewis. He hosts one of the top ranked iTunes ranked Apple podcast shows called The School of Greatness. I've been on it 3 times. I always love being interviewed. One of the best interviewers in the whole world. 250 million downloads with over 950 episodes since 2013. Lewis House, in case you don't know it, taught me how to do webinars. And I am forever grateful. Recognized by the White House and President Obama as one of the top entrepreneurs in the country under 30 years old. Detail Magazine calls him the 5 internet gurus that will make you rich. He's been on Ellen, Good Morning America, The Today Show, New York Times, People, Forbes, Fast Company, ESPN, Men's Health. But look, the thing that I think is makes him the school of greatness, a walking school of greatness, is that he's my friend. Lewis House, how you doing, buddy?
My man. Good to see you, brother.
Always good to see you, man. Thank you for taking part of your Saturday.
Of course.
I went to send you a text this morning. I'm going to go to St. Bart's. I want you and your girl to come out and visit with us.
Ooh, let me know when. I'd love to.
The 26th.
This month?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. I'll see if I can.
Till after the election. I got to go